Hello everybody, it's me, Micah from Connor and Micah, and I wanted to talk about something that not many people really talk about anymore. I'm not sure if any people have ever actually talked about it in general, and that's about the luck mechanic in Fortnite. Basically, a lot of people in this game, they get lucky. Like, as you can see here, I don't get that lucky. I have a green shotgun and a blue shotgun, and a gray shotgun and 3 grenades. It's not that good of loot. I get a blue revolver here, but again, it's a revolver. They're not actually, like, that valuable. So, I make it into, like, the top 30 or something, I don't remember, but I, I, I didn't really get lucky. The person who killed me, you'll eventually see, they had, like, a scar, they had a bunch of stuff that was actually pretty good. And I'm just wondering, when did Fortnite actually become more of a luck-based game rather than a skill-based game? A lot of the game, like when I downloaded it at least, it was more of a skill-based game because at the beginning of the game when everybody landed and like every time somebody got loot and they looted a house, they had like pretty decent loot for the first loot they got. And everybody got pretty much the same loot. But nowadays, somebody can land at SHAREfactory and somebody else can land at Loot Lake. The person at Loot Lake is obviously going to be at a higher risk than the person who lands at SHAREfactory. But the person at SHAREfactory is going to get better loot than them. That doesn't make any sense. So why should somebody at SHAREfactory get better loot than someone at Loot Lake? Why should they be punished for where they chose to land? And that just doesn't make any sense. So the person here, yeah, like I knew someone was here, and I was looking for them, and I was retracing their steps. I saw that they opened these doors, and I actually see them right here. They're over there, right there. They were building, or they're gonna come up here and start building. Yep, right there. Now, I don't want to shoot at him or do anything like that, because then he'll know I'm here. But back to the luck thing. Why should somebody who lands at Loot Lake be punished for where they decided to land? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna land somewhere, I think that what Fortnite should do is they should update the game and have at the beginning of the game, every place has decent loot. Maybe one place in the game can have like a scar or something, but that's just one place. And and then later in the game, more loot can spawn. Like, as the shrinking phase starts, or every time someone in the zone actually, or every time the zone shrinks, I think more loot should spawn, and it be a little higher tier loot than before. The skill factor in Fortnite would go up a lot more than if they just keep it as it is, and everybody has, like, a bunch of like good loot, and some people don't have any loot at all, and some people just have terrible loot. I take a little bit of damage here. That was not a smart move by me, but I mean, I'm jumping around trying to see where he's at, and then I just couldn't find him. I'm still in the zone, but it's about to shrink, and it's gonna go to like Salty Springs or something, I don't remember. But again, why should us players who actually used to be considered, I don't know, skillful, because when we landed and we got like loot, we could actually use that loot to help us because we're good. We don't just get good weapons, we actually use the weapons we have with our skill. Why can't it be like that anymore? Like, I think that my win rate has gone down by 15% because of how they made the skill thing. Or the luck thing, like luck-based. It doesn't make any sense. Fortnite players, they have a little bit of skill left, but a lot of the people who that did have skill before, they left the game. They don't find the game fun anymore because of how Fortnite changed it. When the game was fun, and everybody got the same amount of loot, they could actually win games. But now when they land, and the person who they eventually get to fighting, they have like a SCAR and a rocket launcher, and they have an assault rifle and a shotgun, it's obvious who's gonna win. Even if the person with the assault rifle and shotgun is better, the person with the SCAR and rocket launcher is gonna win. And that's not added, that hasn't recently been added to the game. SCARs and rocket launchers have always been better than everything else. And this guy, he killed me. I placed in number 26. And he obviously had better loot than me. He killed me with a SCAR. And then this person had an AR, and they were trying to kill him with an AR, and he lost because the other person had a SCAR. Fortnite doesn't make any sense anymore. And I'm spectating him still. He's drinking a chug jug or something. I don't remember what he's drinking, but he's making a med kit. And he's skilled. You'll see later in the clips that he is still pretty good, but he's not as good as look at that. He passed up a crossbow. That's how you know he has good loot. He passed up a blue crossbow. And he's looking through the house before he takes his shield potions, so yeah, you can tell he's good. And he killed like a bunch of other people that were actually better than them. You can tell that they were better than him because how they were building and how they were actually playing. And he loses eventually, and I think he places like 6th or something. He loses to somebody who doesn't have as good as loot as him, but he does actually, like, he's skilled. The person who kills this guy is skilled. He's somewhat skilled, like I said before, but he's not. I mean, look at that. He gets a blue sniper. This guy is really lucky, and again, he doesn't take it because he has such good loot that he doesn't have room in his inventory for something as good as a sniper. And for him, it's bad because he's not taking it. But back to my main point, he killed me, and the only reason that he actually won that engagement is because I was trying to kill him with a revolver, because that was the longest range weapon that I had. He had a SCAR, and he was easily gonna win that battle. I mean, I guess technically I could have built up to him, but that's not gonna work in that type of engagement with the guns that we had. And this person, they were even luckier. They had a cozy campfire, a medkit, a chug jug, but they didn't have any actual good guns. Like, that's another problem that Fortnite doesn't realize. The looting in this game doesn't even make any sense, because people will get like a bunch of bullets and no guns, or a bunch of like shield potions and have 200 health and like 5 medkits and a bunch of bandages, but they don't have anything to actually kill people with. They're just stuck with like a bunch of stuff that they'll never be able to use because, well, one, they'll die before they get to use it because they don't have any guns to fight back with, and it just doesn't make sense. Fortnite needs to fix the game, so if there's bullets, there's guns, and they just need to even out like all the looting in general, because he kills another person here, and see, he's good, he's building up, he's getting the higher ground, he knows how to do that. But again, that's a basic skill. He's not an expert. This person, he loses, and I think he was trying to kill him with an AR, or no, he had a SCAR, I believe. Let's see, yeah, he's building down. Yeah, he had a SCAR. And this person, they had good loot. See, they had a booty one. They looted Shifty Shafts, it looked like. And I looted SHAREfactory and a house, like, right by it. Why am I punished for not looting where he looted? Like, he clearly wasn't alive for much longer than I was, because I died, like, what, 5 minutes after him? And that's not really a lot of time in Fortnite, because, I mean, you'll just and many people get a bunch of good loot, and in some games they'll get terrible loot, and they'll lose because of it. Connor and I are actually pretty good players, and then we'll get effed over in looting-wise, and then we'll lose to two terrible people that are like just terrible. They can't aim. They're not building anything. They're just spamming their gun, and we'll lose because they have a scar and we have terrible loot. So Fortnite needs to fix this. I don't even know if I can call it a glitch. I think it's just a bad gameplay decision by Fortnite. And he gets really lucky here. Like, he's killing all these people with really good loot. And there's another cozy campfire. He's not, like, using them. He uses one eventually, like, later in the game. And he's clearly not too skilled. He's not playing too smart. And he only got this far in the game because he got really good loot. Why is that? Fortnite needs to fix this gameplay mechanic. It's not a fair game anymore. You know, most Battle Royale games are actually fair. Well, not all of them are. Most shooter games are fair because people, like even games like Call of Duty where people with the level advantage have better guns, that's fair because the guns aren't, one gun isn't too more severely overpowered than another gun would be. Like if you're level 15 and you can only have an M14, and the level 55 guy, he can have an AK-47, that AK-47 isn't too much more powerful than the M14 is. But in this game, level doesn't matter, which I guess is kind of good, but luck does matter, and level isn't luck, level is skill. And why is Fortnite luck-based then? Because if it's... See, Call of Duty is fair because of that, because none of the guns are too more overpowered, but obviously a purple SCAR is better than a gray assault rifle. So if somebody gets a purple SCAR, and then another person gets a gray assault rifle, they can be the same level of skill, but why does the guy with the purple SCAR win? Yeah, because he has a purple SCAR. The people who aren't lucky, they shouldn't be punished because they're not lucky. They should be punished because they're not good at the game. But I guess Fortnite doesn't really understand the meaning of skill, and they just think that their game should be lucky. You know what I think it is? I think the community is complaining about how when they are equally engaged in a battle, like with somebody with an AR or a SCAR, that's like a blue AR or a purple SCAR, and they only have like a gray shotgun or something, and the person with the gray shotgun wins, they're gonna be mad. And I think that's one of the reasons that Fortnite made this update, because the community might be complaining, and the people who are bad at the game, who have equal guns as someone else, like let's say two people have a gray AR, then like let's say this is before the luck update, two people had a gray AR, and they fought. Let's say the person who was skilled won, and the person who was bad lost. And the person who lost got mad because they lost, because they weren't as good as the game, and they started complaining. And like a lot of people did this, eventually Fortnite saw these complaints, and they changed the game mechanics to be luck. A lot of the people who were actually skilled and left the game because of this, Fortnite isn't full of good players anymore. And it's like making the gameplay not as fun. And like if I land and I immediately get like a SCAR or a rocket launcher, I know I'm gonna win because I have good guns now. See, he dies here, he places 5th. And this person had a bunch of good loot. And why is Fortnite listening to the people that are trash? Fortnite shouldn't listen to the community at all. Like, obviously, if there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be fixed, like like this, for example, the skill factor of Fortnite would go go up a lot, because of the fact that people who are actually skilled have a better chance of winning. The people who are skilled nowadays, the skill doesn't matter anymore, because somebody else who's less skilled than them, but gets a better gun than them, they're gonna win. So I think that Fortnite listened to the community, the community that was trash, and those people weren't skilled, so they got salty that they weren't skilled, and now they just, and now that Fortnite is more of a luck game, they made that small minority of people that were bad at the game happy. And now that Fortnite is a luck-based game, the people who were skilled before, they all left the game. And now it's just a bunch of people that are bad playing the game, and they'll still continue to win games because they're getting lucky. That's like, no, that shouldn't be what Fortnite is about. Fortnite's not fun anymore because the whole luck factor. So, all the more reason that they should bring back more of the skill factor. So, this gameplay right here, everybody else, I think it's safe to say that the last 10 people, they're gonna have good weapons, because they all got everybody else down, and they all killed everybody else, and I think this guy dies here. Yeah, he dies here, and the person in there, they got nervous because they're the last two people alive, one of the last two people alive. He won, and you can tell that he's good. Like, look at how he's doing this. He got here because he was being skillful. Why, in this person, they were being a noob. They just ran into the storm. They're obviously not that good. They obviously got here because they got good weapons. This is a perfect example. One group of people that's really good, and they actually play the game nice. And another group of people who are just trash, and they get good weapons, and they win because of it. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking that, like, even if you're good, you're gonna find a way to use your trash weapons that you get, and use them to be skillful. No, because Fortnite updated the game to where the trash weapons are even more trash, and the good weapons do like 70, 80 damage a hit. So, if you go against someone with a good weapon, and you have a trash weapon that does like 17 or 18 damage a hit, and they have a good weapon that does like 70 or 80 damage a hit, you're gonna lose. They've made Fortnite so unfair, and the sad thing is, it's probably because of the community who's trash. So, what I'm saying is that Fortnite's not fun anymore because of how unfair the game is now. So, I think Epic Games should fix this. Fortnite is still a good game, it's just, I mean, they just made it not fun to play anymore, so I believe they can fix this. They just have to listen to some of the things I said in the video. And there's a lot of people that feel the same way as me. Like, I've seen people complaining about this, but yeah, I think Fortnite should fix some of these things, but